he's leaving in 2 weeks. I'm not going to ruin his freaking Christmas over this.
Yeah.
If you want me to lay him off, I'll wait for him and do it. They said, we're going to give you 200 properties and we're going to give the other company 200 properties, and whoever performs the best will get all of our business.
What would you tell your new brokers, or what would you tell somebody here about the value and the benefit and how to, where to get started, how to get started?
If you're in a company like that, you're in the wrong company.
Yeah.
Either that or you're not an agent I want because you have the same mentality.
Forget chasing single-family rentals. Let's build commercial portfolios. Collect the best insights and information from commercial real estate experts and industry heavyweights on this episode of the Rent Stew podcast.
Live from CREi Summit 2025 in Palm Desert, California. My name's Christian Cotta with Hungry Investments. This is the Rent Stew podcast, where you can find all the latest, greatest commercial real estate insights, information, and those people, the brightest and best minds of what I would say in the commercial real estate industry, to help you further your career, get started investing, or just learn how this whole thing works and how you can use all this information to make advancements in investing, doing whatever it is you want. I am joined today by somebody that I've been wanting to meet and then just was able to meet, Mr. George Pino.
Well,
it's my pleasure, buddy. Yeah,
over.
yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So I had Joe on here, your business partner.
Yes.
I know you know where the bodies...
Partner since 93, so I know where the bodies are.
That's what I was going to say.
Absolutely.
I know you know where the bodies are buried. And then we're having, it's Cody, right?
Corey,
Corey's
affiliate office out of New York.
Yeah, so I'm getting the whole crew.
Yeah.
And so, I just want to start off by, being able to share some of how'd you get started in the industry? I want people that are watching this podcast, when they walk away, I want them to be able to have a good idea of the people that they want to connect with and help you guys be able to get in front of others, but also some things that they can take away. And I know you and Joe are really good at helping people in the brokerage community, training, learning, all that stuff. So how did you get started?
Well, like a lot of commercial real estate agents or even real estate agents, I kind of fell into it by accident. So at the time, and this was right out of college, I had a friend of mine that during college, we used to design T-shirts and we'd sell them, but we were doing, actually, this was in the 80s, and we were doing some pretty decent numbers. Enough to be able to...
You were a merch guy.
Yeah, merch guy, yeah. But, we were selling, way back in the day, we were making probably $20,000, $30,000 each, on an annual basis.
Yeah,
just doing T-shirts, printing them and doing it.
Diecast, all that
kind of... college student, it's awesome. But, that's how I kind of learned how to do...
You talked to my business partner?
No.
He owned the largest screen printing company in Phoenix. He started at college.
Yeah,
called Explosion Sportswear.
Yeah, I mean, we started looking into it, and we never got into actually doing the silk screen ourselves. But what happened was, because a lot of it was colleges, and with colleges you had to have licensing agreements.
Oh, he had all, yeah.
And if you went to any of the companies that had the licensing agreements, they would triple charge what you could really make it for. So instead, I walked up to somebody and said, "Hey, licensing agreement's only about $500 a year. I'll pay for your first year. You just give us at the same cost." And so we cut a deal like that. I paid for it. We did it. We were able to make licensed T-shirts and things for these different universities. And so we started that way. But what happened, of course, is since we're very much focused in college, young and dumb.
Yeah. Make money, spend
really
money.
Thinking about it, make money, spend money. Not really thinking about the future as much. And summer hits, and we're like, oh, well, you know what? We got summer off. We're like teachers. Not really. But that's
3 months.
That's
no
our
income.
mindset, right? 3 months, no income. And at that time, another friend of mine who had just graduated with, and said, we actually have need some help at this, and you want just a part-time gig for a couple weeks. I said, sure, I'll come in there. And it was like doing some analyst work and some other stuff. And I was like, sure, I'll come in, do it, check it out. And I got a job offer the first week. And I thought, you know what, maybe actually this might be a better career choice. And so went into that, and actually not really in commercial real estate yet. We're doing real estate auctions.
Oh, yeah.
So
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
You were closing all the auctions as they were coming through on the fax machine.
yeah, we had fax
Waiting
machines.
to see how many property. Joe was telling me.
Yeah, we would sell. I mean, at that time, the company I was working for, we would literally have real estate auctions that we would sell, 400 to 1,000 properties over a period of 4 or 5 days in like the state of Texas, as well as we're in all 50 states. But I was able to grow pretty quickly with them since I joined.
Yeah.
And just, at the time, I just hard work ethic, and grew pretty quickly to where I was running their closing department, overseeing everything. Unfortunately, I was laid off along with Joe.
Yeah.
Joe actually was laid off first. He got moved into my department. I was told to lay him off. I laid him off, and I think I've been paying. Well, I've been paying. Well, I did buy him until originally.
You helped buy some time.
Well, the owner originally said, "Okay, we just moved him over. You need to lay him off in 2 weeks." I'm like, "No. I mean, what do you mean?" He goes, "Joe goes to Nebraska every year for Christmas to visit his family. He's leaving in 2 weeks. I'm not going to ruin his frickin' Christmas.
Yeah.
Over this.
Yeah.
If you want me to lay him off, I'll wait for him and do it when he gets back." And so, the funny part was it's a very incestuous company, and he knew he was getting laid off by the time he got back.
Oh.
So, 2 months later,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting laid off. The company went public, which is why all the layoffs.
This video is sponsored by CREi.com, the smart site submittal platform for tenants, landlords, and developers. Site streamlines the entire site submittal process, from custom AI-powered submission portals to a tenant-seeking site marketplace that makes expansion fast, efficient, and targeted. At Hungry Investments, we use sites to validate sites we already control, target locations for specific tenants, and even identify tenants actively looking in trade areas where we're doing our due diligence. It's become an invaluable tool for our growth, and it can do the same for you. Check out CREi.com, where smart growth starts.
Where
I had to cut all
getting rid of all the
expenses.
middle management, that was in theory getting paid too much,
Mm-hmm.
and so they laid myself off. At that time, salaried position. I was in getting married. The first call was to a competitor. They offered me a job on the spot, but I'd have to pick up and move down to Orange County. Second call was to Joe, and I called to Joe was, "Hey, I just got laid off. I know you've been out looking for work. Who's hiring? What's going on? Tell me what's happening. Who I should go. Cut my chase. I need a job tomorrow."
Yeah.
So, he said, "Let's sit down and talk." And he goes, "I actually had an offer to start a real estate auction division with a large residential firm and to help start that and get going. If you want, let's partner up and do it." So we did. In a year and a half, we were the number 2 real estate auction company in California. In, 2 years or so, we're number 2 in the nation, behind the company that laid us off, which was still behemoth.
Yeah.
But we also realized that aha moment that we actually were doing something right and making it. We kept stealing a lot of their clients.
Oh, that's great.
Out. Joe had a meeting in Dallas with a large REIT that had just purchased out. They were looking to sell about 4,000 properties. They had purchased 10,000, and it was all in California. And they said, "We're going to give you 200 properties, and we're going to give the other company 200 properties, and whoever performs the best will get all of our business."
Gets all of them.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's awesome!" Because I know we can outperform them. I know we can beat them. We've done it. We've shown it. We've proven it. I know we can do this. Cut to 3 hours later, as Joe lands from LAX, and from Dallas, he has a voicemail, and it says, "I know we told you we're going to give you your half, but your competitor just offered to do it for free. So we're going to give them all." Now, at that point, I was like, a little bittersweet. Nice to know we're making an impression that they think they have to do something for free to keep us from getting the business.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really would have liked the commissions.
Yeah, of course. So how do you guys, you're running these auction, like the auction houses.
Mm-hmm.
And then how does that kind of lead you? How do you guys get into commercial?
What ended up happening is the person that actually owned that company, he sold his company to Coldwell Banker. He was actually the largest residential firm in the United States. He had about 1,600 agents.
Oh, wow.
And when he sold his company to them, they didn't want to do real estate auctions, so they shut us down. And when they shut us down, At first we weren't sure what we were going to do. We took about a 6-month stint doing bulk sales with our REO contacts, things like that, putting them together for investors, whatever. And then there's another gentleman who the owner of that company introduced us to. He was wanting to start a commercial real estate division, and he told him, if you want to start any kind of division, these are your two guys to do it for you.
Yeah, because you guys got this synergy.
Yeah.
Dating way back and like figuring out how to
to
build everything together.
Absolutely, an old school mentality. Like, if we didn't know how to do it and whatever, we'll figure it out. And if we couldn't figure it out, we'd let people know right away.
This video is brought to you by CREi.com, the smart site submittal platform for tenants, landlords, and developers. From AI-powered site submission portals to a tenant-seeking site marketplace, Sites makes expansion fast, efficient, and targeted. Check them out at sitecre.com. That's SYTESCRE.com, and level up your site selection game. Seem to have good communication.
Yeah.
All that trust is built there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Foundation of that.
Absolutely. You have to do that. So, and, so we came on originally, believe it or not, we told them no, because we were focused on a social responsible real estate investment company we'd started. And that was getting leverage, but then he made us an offer, a la The Godfather, that you can't refuse. It wasn't a threat; it was just mutually beneficial, very mutually beneficial for everybody. He became one of our mentors, as well as an investor with us, and so he allowed us to continue with the investments, helped us grow that side of that company as well, things like that. So with that, we started building the commercial real estate division for him. He ended up selling to Sotheby's, NRT again. Sotheby's at the time, and still, I believe, they don't really, the Sotheby's United States Real Estate doesn't own the name, they license it.
Oh.
And it's licensed specifically for residential real estate, and Sotheby's in the UK is very protective of that because, they don't want their brand watered down by going on to a Class C industrial building their signs.
Yeah.
Right? So we were told we couldn't do any more commercial real
You're
estate.
Like, Jesus, how many times is...
Literally, I can tell you, it was December 9th.
Every time it sells, something bad.
Every time it sells, but it was December 9th, 2005. The reason why I know that, they told us that we're closing December 31st. So, like 22 days, great. And at the time, I was skiing up in Mammoth with Joe and some of the agents that we recruited and brought on board and that were training that trusted us.
For commercial.
So for commercial real estate.
You're like, we got to figure something out.
And, at first, the first thing, Joe and I were like, yeah, okay, you know what? We got the call early in the morning. We're like, God, no, we're just go back to our original plan, focus on our investment company, get out of the brokerage side of life. And then we broke for lunch and we said, well, you know what? What about all those agents that we brought on board that are trusting us? We can't just leave them in the lurch.
Yeah.
So we started making some calls, found a couple homes for a couple of them at different shops, but then a handful of them came to us and said, you have your broker's license. If you start your company, we'll come with you. And although it wasn't what we originally wanted to do, we felt it was the right thing to do, which has been a course of action through, even our holding company. We have Pono Asset Management. The Pono is the Hawaiian word for essentially doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it has different interpretations, but ultimately it's to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we thought, okay, you know what, let's do this. But if we're going to do this, we're going to actually try and remodel the way commercial brokerage companies are designed. So we, everything that we didn't like working for a company, we threw out.
Yeah.
Everything that we modified to a point where it's like, this is something that I would accept. So, with the thought process, I'm never going to ask somebody to do something I wouldn't do.
Yeah. Take what you like and leave what you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the model, especially then, but even nowadays, a lot of the companies, they had a model that was geared more toward protecting the company's interests versus the agents. And, the way I look at it, for instance, a lot of commercial real estate companies, they have IC or independent contractor agreements that are 50, 100 pages long that you really should have an attorney take a look at beforehand, because most of it's to tie you up if you think you're going to want to leave. We use a standardized CAR form, which is very at will and very much back and forth, because the bottom line is I don't want any agent to be in my office
if they don't
that
be there.
thinks that there's a better opportunity elsewhere. In fact, I will be the first person to congratulate them, wish them the best, but also let them know that there's always an open door, assuming that we still have a good relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the reason why they're leaving.
Yeah.
Which has never happened. So,
and is that when CBI is?
that's when CBI started created
with
back in May
Commercial
2006.
Commercial Brokers
International.
International. Yeah.
So we created that 2006, opened up actually January 1st when we started. Our office wasn't open until May. We had a build out and some other stuff. Opened up May 1st on 2006.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, when you went, you got your 20-year anniversary coming up.
Year.
You guys going to throw a party or what?
Maybe.
Yeah. Birthday party?
Maybe. I mean, we're, you know, I say this half jokingly, but we're old. And little things like that for us, I know it's important for a lot of people and stuff, but for me, it's like, oh, you know what? I know it's a milestone, it's cool, but and all that. But at the same time, you know, I wasn't doing it for that reason and whatever else. And, you know, it's nice and the recognition and being able to have a company that's been productive for 20 years, even through 3 major downturns and exiting those downturns better.
And how many brokers do you guys have now, like in that 20-year period? Where are you at currently?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Well, you know, we've always
I know it
fluctuates.
But we've
always
typically
kept it relatively small.
Yeah.
We on average had, I would say, 10 to 12. But right now we're at 18, not including Joe and myself. Some of the agents have been with us for a decade plus. You know, others are relatively newer.
Yeah.
And you know, we just. It's more for us. It's more about, you know, one, can we add value and help the agents grow their business if that's what they want to do? And if not, can we give them the support that they're looking for? And if so, then we'll do whatever we can for them. We'll make that commitment as long as they commit to being there and doing the same for us. And so we've always had that kind of synergistic relationship with the agents, you know, and never wanted to get too huge. Our growth plans
stay at a happy point.
Well, at a certain point, no matter what you try and do with company culture, and I know that's been a hot topic, and it became a hot topic during the whole .com millennial phase and everything else. But the bottom line is, I used to walk in and half jokingly say, you know, I have a teenage with new hires. I'd half jokingly or interviews. I have a teenage daughter at home, and frankly, I don't need any more drama in my life at the office. So when you walk through that door, I don't care if you're making $1 million or $2 million a year, leave it at the door. You don't need an ego. You don't need a drama. You don't need to create that. Let's just all have fun working and making money.
Yeah.
And so that's been our approach with it, and it seems to have worked fairly well. I mean, we find the good people that we want to be with, the good agents. You know, there are agents I'll work with. There are some agents though that I have at other companies that I absolutely refuse to work with, and I will let my clients know ahead of time that if you have a property there that I won't do it because they're unethical, or I feel they're unethical, or they've done something unethical that I'm fully aware of, and I don't want to bend my ethics to accommodate their business model. Yeah. So I let my clients know if they want to still proceed. You know, I may have another agent of mine handle it and things like that.
So I got some. I want to pick your brain.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at your name tag, and you got the 5 stars on there, which means it's your 5th year.
Yep.
And you and Joe, and then Joe's talking to me about, and just in case you want, like Joe's, I'm gonna have yours is linked in the card on YouTube for the episode with Joe, and go ahead and click here if you want to meet George's partner Joe. But we're at CREi Summit, and I know you were talking about 20 years just with commercial brokers, and then however many years before that. So you've seen a big shift in how everything works with social and technology and all that. You guys have done a great job putting content out and building the YouTube channel. Joe's really shifting towards the teaching aspect of it and all of that. With CREi Summit, what would you tell your new brokers, or what would you tell somebody here about the value and the benefit, and how to, where to get started, how to get started, with social media and what they can gain from it?
Okay. Well, I'm going to be the first one to say that this is one of the only conferences I go to every year. and I have for the last 5 years.
It's like networking on steroids.
Networking on steroids, but more importantly, they're bringing value to the agents. I mean, every year I have learned something new about marketing and social media marketing that we can interpret and bring back to our agents to have them grow it to the point where now we have a team of 5 here this year. I think we're the only brokerage company that has that many agents here.
That's a good number.
That we're here, and we're supporting them. We're paying for them. We're getting them out here because I believe wholeheartedly that this is the way of the future. In that, the beautiful part about the CREi Summit is that it takes social media, but actually reinforces the personal relationships that you create.
Look at us.
Why and how, just like us.
Yeah.
Right? And the beautiful part about social media is that a lot of times if you do the
content, because we're best friends now, right?
Absolutely. Did you know you co-signed my loan?
Yeah, and I'm coming to Santa Monica every summer, right?
Cool. That's all right. Works for me.
Yeah. No, I do love.
It's true though.
Yeah.
I literally have. I mean, there are people I have never met until this summit that we've talked to and we felt we were friends to begin with.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're here and you actually spend that time, or as Ken Ashley, who puts it together, calls fellowship time, that is so important. I think that a lot of younger agents forget that it's not just about putting the content out in the social media and stuff.
I would say not even just younger agents in general. The
old
guard that's kind of afraid of like this new era of social.
Well, the new era of social. Also, I think a lot of the agents that are afraid of it is they're afraid because, commercial real estate has a history of being everything close to the vest, right? Hidden information, controlled information. Yeah. There used to be, I remember when I first got started, you went into a senior's office. If they were working on a project or had client information on their desk, first thing they do is flip it over. And you're in the same company. Yeah. They don't trust the people you work with.
Yeah.
When I'm recruiting and talking to somebody, if you're in a company like that, you're in the wrong company.
Yeah.
Either that or you're not an agent I want because you have the same mentality.
Yeah.
And, but it's understanding that you're going to do more, you're going to generate more, and you're going to actually elevate the business more if you actually start embracing all the other agents and we're working with them. There are, my referral base, I get referrals from JLL agents, from Cushman agents, from Collier's agents because of what I do. And a lot of it is the contacts I make here as well.
And how they get to know you through the different platforms.
I had an agent that called me up and said, I saw one of your videos. Love it. I thought I could help my client, but I think you're better suited to do that. Would you like to take them over?
Oh, that's crazy.
It was fantastic until she said she wanted a 50% referral fee.
That's a lot.
And I said, I don't do that, but here's what I will do.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, it kind of goes back to what you're saying. Like, it is networking. You see people when you actually meet them in person. They feel like they already know you.
You already know you.
So
absolutely.
From that, whether it's the sales process or the recruiting process or whatever it is, it's that whole seven, usually takes seven touches before the sales, complete. But you can almost get all those touches through a tweet, a LinkedIn post, a YouTube video. And then all of a sudden when you actually meet them in person, they're like, where do I sign?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Or the recruitment is that much easier.
Yeah, recruitment's that much easier potentially where you're talking to certain agents. I mean, the hard part is in CRE right now, especially with the social media and things like that, it's tough. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's tough in the sense that most people still aren't doing it, so they don't believe necessarily in it or the value. They think they want to do it. They're seeing some opportunity and they want it, but they're still afraid. At the same time, though, with everything that's going on, I had an agent recently that came to us and said, I got offered this deal from this company. Can you match it and everything else? And frankly, after I looked at it, I was like, no, I can't. But if they're offering you that, I'm going to wish you the best. I will literally pat you on the back, wish you the best. We can get together for lunch, have fun, whatever else. Now, we're finishing up a couple deals, and I just cut him a 6-figure check for one of his last deals. That was his portion of the commission that he did. And as he came in, he's sitting there and a couple of our agents are sitting there chatting. They're like, oh, how's everything going? He slowly turned around. I didn't know about this till later, but he goes, I made the biggest mistake.
Oh.
He goes, I don't know if they'll let me back in because this is the second time I've done it.
Yeah, fool me once, shame.
Well, no, the thing is, he's a great guy. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. And I can't fault him for wanting to try to look for something better. And the problem was the other company's promising something that's not going to deliver. And, we know this. I mean, I've been in the business long enough that I know the tactics that other companies use to get people on board. I mean, I've heard before when I've talked to people on a recruit call and they say, oh, every company tells me that. And I'm like, yeah, but not every company's doing it. I am.
Yeah.
And so, we will literally say, you know what, take those meetings. I have no problems with any of my agents taking a meeting with another company because we'll tell them to. We'll say, you know what, go take the meeting, see what's out there, see what's available. I promise you this is what is out there.
Yeah.
And this is that. And, it happens because I know our agents, as they grow, they're going to get recruited. I know like one of our agents who's here with
especially with social media being more and more in the training that you guys are giving them and how you're kind of guiding them into all that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to guide them all into it and our whole idea is there's two ways for a company to, a commercial brokerage company to look at their agents. One is as a profit center, meaning how can I get the most out of them to make me more profitable?
Yeah.
The other way to look at it is I'm your partner, and if you do more business, that means I make more money and we both win.
Yeah.
We take the latter approach.
Yeah, help them make money and you make money in the process.
I'm going to help them make more money. They're going to be happier. I'm going to be happier. As opposed to, hey, you know what? I got a new fee. Oh, you didn't hit the base. I'm going to have to add that to next year. Whatever else. We don't do any of that stuff.
Oh.
I don't believe in resetting like that. Let's take all the negative energy out and just give them positive stuff to be able to work with and grow. And generally speaking, the good agents, they'll always grow and it'll work out for us.
Well, I know we could do a 1 hour podcast and go through all this stuff and I'd love to do that. Love to get together.
Absolutely.
Like I told you.
Well, you're up in Santa Monica.
Yeah, I told you and Joe, you guys come to Phoenix, we'll do it in the big podcast studio, but we'll also, trust me, Santa Monica is not a bad place to visit.
No, it's not. Neither is Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, Phoenix in the wintertime, Santa Monica in the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely. I was up in Scottsdale a few months ago. Actually, the most amazing, beautiful, the Franciscan Mission. I was up there.
Okay. And so, hopefully, we'll coordinate something. But in the meantime, I want to make sure, because obviously it's a condensed version, let everyone know where's the best place to connect with George Pino?
Best place is probably going to be LinkedIn, and that's a straight George Pino, but look for Commercial Brokers International. Fun fact, there's another George Pino out there that owns a commercial brokerage company. He's in Miami.
I know. I found him when I was doing my research.
He pops up quite a bit, actually, with the reasons why. It's funny because another agent came to me 2 weeks ago and said, have you ever Googled your name? And I was like, yeah. He goes, there's another George Pino. I go, yeah. He goes, I wasn't sure who I was meeting and if I should be scared. I was like, no, he's actually, I don't think there's anything bad about him. He just got into some problems, issues. And, but yeah. So LinkedIn, George Pino, Los Angeles, LinkedIn, Commercial Brokers.
And then any website or anything?
CBIcommercial.com.
Okay.
www.CBI.
And are you on any other social platforms?
I am.
They can find you on Joe's YouTube channel.
On YouTube, on Joe's, also I have a CBI Commercial Brokers International YouTube channel that we've been building up.
You guys are putting videos on there?
Yes. And
on Instagram?
As well as Instagram.
Oh.
So
we got to make sure we connect there. And then you guys will be able to find all these links down in the description below. So, once you're done here, go ahead, scroll there, click, have fun clicking around, do all that good stuff. And I appreciate you joining me.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the invite.
I look forward to it, buddy. So, it's the business time here of this episode. And by business, I mean, make sure, if you're not already, that you subscribe to the channel, smash that bell. Give us a like, share this out to somebody that you think might benefit from, who's trying to get started in the brokerage business, is in a position looking for something else. And George shared a whole lot of good fun facts, tidbits, all gems, nuggets, whatever you want to call them. And so, do us a favor. If you see some value in this, I highly appreciate you sharing this out. At the same time, I also want to thank you for being here, investing your time. You could be spending it anywhere, but you're choosing to do it here. So you know what time it is, my friends? It's time to pay your rent. Rent is due, And as always, stay hungry, my friends. If you made it this far through and you landed here, it means you're serious about making money in commercial real estate. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already following for more great commercial real estate, and check out this video or this video. As always, stay hungry, my friends.